Hey, but it's Central Weird. This is going to be a little tour of checking out some new features and possibly a new high render preset for Icarus. I'm using the Patrix 128 texture pack or resource pack on the Patrix test map, and got a few features working that weren't working very well before, and we're going to kind of check them out. I've got the real-time caustics running, and some stuff like that. The only fireflies I'm still getting seem to be in this area where there's a lot of shiny and reflective stuff kind of stuck on each other. So there's still some work to do on figuring out the rest of that, but overall I think that it does some cool stuff. Let's kind of tour some of this, and I'll give some impressions, and I'll show medium later too. Here's in the diamond room. This is really noisy. Not my favorite. I think this one actually looks better on medium. I don't have the type of rainbow type prism effects in it yet that I want to do. When I do, those will be nice. The emerald room, I really like this. Just the light play. Again, this isn't supposed to be a gameplay preset, but we're getting 30 FPS in most rooms. Some of these that are heavily like a mirror room are not hitting that. Not hitting that. I want to add a thing like a special screenshot mode. But right now the screenshot mode just does accumulation like endlessly. I want to do it to where it does a lower resolution thing without that when you're moving around, so you can kind of get into where you want to be, and then once you're there it'll switch over. Can I show the purple room? I like the purple room. There's a few of these test rooms. We'll look, and then I'll do them on medium afterwards too. But I think this is doing a lot better. The bloom is still horrible. That's why that's got that jitter on the light as that bloom. Let's see. On the top, see we got gold here bouncing off of however many things it has to come off of that, and we get some of the sunlight kind of bouncing off that wall area, then off the floor. Here's a test room. It's done at the end, but we'll kind of go through some of these material rooms too, because some of them, like, I really like the look. And a lot of what a shader is doing is it's showcasing the play of light off of materials. So seeing how it looks on different things is really fun. A little light bouncing off the floor on the bottom of the bricks. Let's see. It looks like I may have forgotten to disable the vanilla ambient occlusion, and that might be where I've got that dark spot in the corner. I've got some shine off of something out here. The any noise you'll see is where I've got the ray tracing doing less rays for performance. I think that's important to have something that's still like playable or interactable instead of just full-on craziness, even though this is trying to be the more kind of crazy presets. And like here, like that white is the light bouncing off of that part. You see that coming down and doing that play on the wall there too. A darker marble or something polished. There's another test room. For this one, it bounces light through like a million things. There's some light leaks and stuff that doesn't quite work right on this, so I'm going to have to fix them, but I'll show you this working very well by changing a few settings. Okay, so we'll go through just on that setting, and then I'll make some changes to make it work even better. And this is doing like just a lot of light bounces. Let's see how far we can get. Oh, I need to up the auto exposure so we can actually see this. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. So here we go from the light source of this floor. And this is doing only the specular component. You can see when we get into the second to last chamber, it takes a second to kind of catch on. And this last chamber is kind of not getting it. We're getting like individual photons at that point. But I've got one more trick up my sleeve. And here we, this should work better, but this last room is still having problems. Let's try through again and see what we get. And this last room just seems to have some kind of a leak or something, or the values are just too low, and that's why it gets like super noisy. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but I think it makes it pretty far. That's pretty good, and that's just with the specular light. The diffuse component isn't doing as much off screen. So this should get better when I do that too. Because again, once we let the autofocus kind of catch up, it goes pretty far. And just that last room is kind of crapped out. So let's see. There's a lot of other stuff in this map to kind of check out and test in, so I'm probably going to start testing in this more. There's some cool stuff. And again, here's one of the few blocks causing these errors. I think it's a combination of being shiny and emissive. I'll show the comparison to just default settings now. Since I've shown this default, which actually gets FPS. And then here's on the default settings. See, it's much cleaner because it's doing the hybrid lighting, or instead of just doing like light simulation, like purely, it's mixing in some of the vanilla stuff. And a lot of it still looks really good, but then of course just runs a lot better. It doesn't quite have the same depth. If I switch back right here, you'll see the difference. Like that's the difference. Let's look at a few more of these test rooms. And I think it still does a pretty good job. I think that's it for this video, and I'm going to try out some more stuff on this map, and maybe show some more of it off if you guys are interested. I'm kind of getting a new respect for the Patrix resource pack, even though it was already my favorite. Just seeing some of the stuff that's built on here, and it's just fun to check out. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a good week, and I'll talk to you all soon.